Today, we're tackling one of the biggest lies in the coaching and consulting industry. That is, if you just build the perfect offer, clients will magically show up. But spoiler alert, that's exactly why so many coaches and consultants stay stuck. I'm Riley. This is Ped. And we've spent over 30 years and $100,000 building our own businesses so you can build yours for less. Welcome to Change Champions.
Thanks, Riley. And you know what? This topic really hits home for me because I wasted months polishing up a program and redoing my website and all those different things, all while my client pipeline completely dried up. And I know a bunch of you listening to this podcast right now may well have been there too.
Months? It was only months? Is that true?
It was months.
It
It was
feels like
months. It was that
how many
actual
months,
month.
Ped?
I'll tell you in a minute.
Yeah. So in this episode, we're gonna unpack. We'll dig it deeper into that. Unpack why that advice, to build it and they will come, doesn't work, and what to do instead, and how one simple shift can get you from waiting for clients to creating opportunities on demand, essentially. Right? Let's dive in.
Let's do it.
Exciting topic. Cool. So all right. So feast or famine, right? That's kind of, if you're listening to this and you've probably heard of that term before, you've probably experienced it, which is essentially when referrals start drying up. That's kind of what we're talking about, right? And maybe you want to speak to more of your experience here, Ped.
Yeah, look, yeah. So those months that I talked about, there were 6 months of me not getting any new work at all. This was back in 2019. I finished 3 really stressful projects. Uh, Clients from hell would be an understatement. I did a lot of things wrong, despite my knowing better. But genuinely, at that point, I had been, I guess, like lucky that something always showed up, and this time it didn't. No, I've been using the word pipeline here, but back then I had no idea what a pipeline was. I didn't even know that term.
Can you
But
explain it just in case someone else hasn't heard that term yet either?
so yeah, pipeline. How I imagine the pipeline now is you have a a set of clients that are in the process, a set of people that are in the process of becoming clients through different steps that you might take them through, from them not knowing anything about you, you having a conversation, then finding out a little bit about what problems they've got, how you can help them, and just kind of working their way towards you and what you can do for them, and ultimately becoming a client. That's how I think about it now. Thank you. And and yeah, all that stuff. I don't know if other people have experienced this as well, but it starts when you don't have any new clients. It chips away at your self-worth. I know that at the time, I also just got married, and I started to think to myself, like, what a shitty husband I am that I'm currently without work for 1 month, 2 months, 3 months. So yeah, it's not a fun place to be when that happens.
Yeah, it's also, I mean, even if you I think there's a lot of people in this industry who just love the craft. Like they just love holding space or being of service or insert blank here. Like um, coaches and consultants, they enjoy their work, right? And even if that is like wholeheartedly your total, purpose and sense of being is just doing the work. Well, if you don't have work coming in, then you like forget all the business side of stuff. You just can't do the work. Like unless
Yeah.
you just want to purely do pro bono and like beg people to let you work for free. That's not really it. Yeah, it beats you up and it's frustrating as hell for sure. On so many levels.
No, no. And for you know what, for me back then, uh, the belief that I had was that if I was good enough, people would find me. And for a while, that actually held true. But I was reading the wrong signals. I had just, like I said, got lucky with the work that I got. I did get referrals, I did get repeat work, but it doesn't mean that I could completely rely on it because I'm now leaving it to other people to help me find work.
Yeah, like the ball's out of your court. I know in when I was in sports psych, that was something we always talked about. Is like control the controllables. It's like focus on what's in your control, and it's literally the definition of not. It's you're relying on other people, and which leads to so many things. Like there's the financial stress for sure, but then also even if you do have, maybe you're taking work that you don't want to because you know it's that scarcity mindset, and so there's a lot of things. And we can keep going, but let's go into people get, I think, what it feels like. So what do let's talk about some of the mistakes here. So what do most people do when things dry up, when referrals dry up?
Well, and for me, again, and you know what, I say for me, but I've seen this happen with other people too, people we've spoken to and everything. So in no particular order, uh, my favorite one is the whole getting ready piece. It's like, all right, need to redo the website, uh, get a new logo, whatever it is. It's just like that. I need to feel ready to present myself back to the world.
Yeah. How do
Yeah.
you define feeling ready? That's a good one.
All right. I mean, we've got other thoughts on that, you know.
Maybe that could be a whole nother episode, but okay, I'm listening. But
I
go
was
on.
I was
Yes.
about to
Getting
say
ready.
that is next episode for sure. Another one which I came a bit late to is some of the, I guess, marketing strategies. The you hear about, you got to make ads or these things called funnels to go in with the other jargon like pipeline or cold outreach. And for a lot of people, that can feel like a really big leap, and it can also feel a little bit inauthentic, especially when you've been on when you've experienced the rough side of those strategies as well. And the my next favorite mistake is buying certificates or getting another certificate, which feeds into some of the things that you said earlier around wanting to get better at your craft. But there comes a point where I see that as a hiding strategy. It's the I'll be ready when I get this next certificate, or I'll be ready to do the work that I really want to do when I get the next certificate before you've really just got your ROI or really started to use what you already know in a way that makes sense. And yeah, it's those are the main things I've seen.
Yeah, and the problem I think with each of the, like, if we touch on those real quick, like it does it make sense if I label them as like productive procrastination? Because it's like you feel busy,
Yeah.
like you're doing
Yeah.
stuff, but it's you're mistaking activity for what's that quote? How's that go? You're mistaking activity for progress
Results.
or result. Yeah, something
Yeah.
like that, right?
Mhm.
And so like the getting ready piece is very much like like we said, how do you define that? When are you actually ready? And realistically, unless you have traffic going to your website or like where are people, who's seeing it? That's the
Who's
thing.
seeing it?
That's
And
right.
how are they
That's
seeing it? Yeah.
yeah. So that segues right into the mistake number two, right? Is the and it's not that these things can't work. It's just that there's so much work that goes into them that people don't see, unfortunately. And I think there's a lot of I don't think that's necessarily our fault in the coaching and consulting space. I think a lot of times the marketing gurus that almost kind of pull one over on you in a way. Um, and when it comes to ads, like they 100% can work, but we haven't seen them work for less than three, four, $5,000 of ad spend per month minimum, right?
Not including the amount of time, energy, and to figure out how to even set it up if you're
Oh
doing
yeah,
it yourself,
yeah,
let
or
alone
paying
paying
someone else
somebody
to
else
do
to.
it.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, even works. So there's the ads piece, and then let's just pretend you're getting traffic from somewhere, I don't know where, and we're working on funnels because funnels still don't work without some traffic, like pouring something into the top of the funnel. But there's so many pieces and layers to it. Talk about controlling the controllables. My God, the variables involved. It's like being a full-time scientific like experimenter
Yeah.
researcher.
Very much.
And then cold outreach can just feel really icky for people, and even if it doesn't, and you can do it with authenticity or ethically, the volume can be insane. It's
Yeah.
just, I mean, like if you have a 1% conversion rate, that's pretty good. And how many people do, I mean, you just do the math on it, right?
Right.
And then yeah, that doesn't even talk about the
I
buying
got
another certification
I
thing.
got a DM, an in-mail DM on LinkedIn today, and it said something, we've created a system that lets you send 3,500 in-mails a month. And I was like, that terrifies me. It's like,
It's a lot. It's a
that's a
lot.
lot.
Yeah. And again, it's like I really want to be honest with people here. Like any of these things can work. It's really, but it's more about like, is it going to work for you? Does it fit with your values? Does it fit with the trajectory? Like, are you trying to build a multi-million-dollar scalable, 7-figure plus business, or are you just trying to do more of what you love? Is kind of what I think of. And that does mean getting out of your own head though. Like if anyone listening has heard of the irresistible offer, that a lot of times what that means to people is it's like irresistible in their own head. Like they spend 3 months designing slides for a program that nobody asked for. I actually did this as well. Can tell that story in a second. Yeah, none of these are really the best options here.
It's all the activity stuff, like you were saying, which doesn't really result in getting clients. And it is a bit like going I don't know, in the UK we have a store called Decathlon. I think it's like across Europe as well. It's like a clothing sports store, as well as you can get all the equipment. It's like going there to buying all the kit, all the gear, and just having it, just gathering dust in your wardrobe, or just like in this corner of your garage or whatever it is. It's can be useful, but it's not useful yet.
Yeah, or like having the gym equipment, like no one can work out for you, unfortunately.
Yeah, exactly.
Like you can have the best home gym setup in the world.
Yeah.
But yeah, so maybe go ahead. Sorry.
Yes, actually, yeah. And I know you're a very health conscious person. I don't know how far we can take this metaphor, but instead of buying the gym equipment and having it kind of gathering dust in your garage, what does help then, Riley? I know you said you had a
Yeah.
story to share, maybe like what didn't work and what did work for
Yeah.
you.
So the short answer is talking to people. Maybe it sounds overly simplified, but I'll share. So rewinding back here, my first business. So my original background was in sports psychology. That's my master's degree, and I remember building this, incredible program based on everything I learned and and not just what I learned in theory, but I'd had hundreds of hours working with primarily student athletes, but across different sports, different levels. I even worked with faculty members, so adults as well, not just youth. I mean, just like the whole range. Like this stuff was like it was proven. It's stuff that we're using with Olympic athletes, and I was like, I know this stuff works. So I built this program based on all of that, based on the research. I'm using air
Yep.
quotes for people just listening here, and I remember bringing that to a director at a D1 school, and she kind of looked through it, and
What's the D1 school for?
sorry, Division 1 athletics. It's like the top
Got it.
collegiate or university level competition for student athletes. And she basically was just like, "Yeah, cool, that's nice." Like she basically said no in a very nice way. And fortunately, I was opportunistic and listened after that to address one of the problems she actually had. But that's the thing is like I was just building in isolation. I was building in my own head, and I kind of lucked out to stumble into work after that. It wasn't until years later, wasn't even the same business. But I remember asking a mentor of mine, I was like, what should my next step be? And he was like, you can just like go talk to people and ask them like what they want. I was like, oh, what? Yeah. So I did that. And I launched a pilot based off of that, and I filled 12 seats after talking to dozens of people and it really built the foundation of our approach that we have both used to date and have taught to other coaches and consultants. But it's really like it it eliminates all those mistakes that we talked about before. Like you stop treating referrals as a strategy because the ball's not in your court. And I'm not going to go deeper down that rabbit hole. I think we talked on it, but it's also, it's just simple networking and selling habits that create meat lead opportunities in that pipeline we were talking about, we described earlier, right? And that's really what you need. You need to be able to rely on a pipeline. And so just talking to people, and we can get into all the specifics maybe another time, but it grows your confidence because you're not just polishing slides, you're actually having real conversations, and you're getting that like you have 100% confidence because you know what people are actually saying and actually asking for, and you're using their words, not just what you think. I don't know, you've Googled or chat GPT'd or for me, it was an actual degree. Like it wasn't, and I don't want to blame them or say they gave me the wrong information. It's just that, markets change and people are different. You have to be able to be flexible and respond.
Well, it's also the difference between knowing what people need and then selling, but actually selling them what they want,
Right.
which there's an overlap. You can help them with that. But really, from I know that you mentioned that I've used a similar approach. We now teach, we kind of blended the approaches that we've seen work. And what we've seen over and over again, having worked with dozens of coaches and consultants, is that this leads to consistent pipeline. There's always people coming into your world, and you've got control over your income. There gets a point where you can even track where people are in your pipeline and figure out what the there's another bit of jargon there, the conversion rates are from taking people from people that don't know you to people that become customers, and the steps in the way. And you go, well, if that's the percentage of people that move from here to here, if I want X number of people to be my clients and earn X amount of dollars or pounds or euros, then how many people do I need to start having conversations with? And that's really it, isn't it? It's just how many people to start conversations with in a way that one thing that actually blows my mind sometimes is that it's a behavior that is so natural and so human, but also so perfect for coaches and consultants because they are people oriented people.
People. Exactly. Wow, Ped, sounds like you're talking about building a business here.
Yeah.
That's pretty
How about
crazy.
that? How about that? And look, our most successful clients have just become in-demand experts. And even you're sharing your story about your first program. I know that an outcome of that was that people just started calling you the clarity coach, which is stuck. That's who you are now. That's
Yeah, yeah, it's moniker, is that right? That's not right. That's anyway, yeah, it's my little
yeah,
I don't know, title, my little yeah, thing, whatever.
yeah.
Anyway, so to recap here, if there's one thing, you're watching or listening and taking away from today, I'd hope that it's that you're not going to continue to wait for clients to show up. You want to stop polishing and over preparing, and you just need to start conversations. Now, one thing we alluded to is that these need to be strategic. It's not just like the neighbor next door or the gardener outside. And if you need help with the strategy behind that, make sure you're on our newsletter because we go into more details and we have lots of juicy bonuses and things to come. But putting that aside for a second, it's that takeaway is you need to have real conversations with real life people. That's where the real opportunities are if you're trying to build your coaching or consulting business.
Absolutely. And look, if you've loved hearing what you've heard here today, just share a comment below. Tell us what's really been holding you back. If you found something that's holding you back from actually launching or taking your business to where you wanted it to, where you want it to go. Feel free to DM us on LinkedIn as well. And as Riley said, if you haven't subscribed to our newsletter, go ahead and do that as well. We share a lot more stuff with our readers there.
Thanks for hanging out with us today, and until next time. See you.